So why do I sit here today surrounded by all of the cameras? I own all of these cameras, and then why do I have that many? The question that I get frequently from my family and friends who are not photographers is, why so many? Why cannot I have like one or two, and why is it not sufficient? And that got me thinking. So I was contemplating about that lately in the end of this year, and I wanted to share my thoughts. So here on the table, in my, I refuse to call it a collection, in my arsenal. A collection in my mind is something supposed to be put on a shelf and never used to preserve the condition of a collectible item. And for me, these are not collectible items. I used, or I am using, all of these cameras, and I have a use case in my mind. So on this side, I have digital cameras with a lot of variety. There's a PSC sensor, there's full frame, there's a even digital medium format sensor here. On this side, there's film cameras, and there's a half frame 35 millimeter, full frame 35 millimeter, medium format 645, the smallest medium format, and a 6x6. And so pretty much any of the cameras on this table can take a very high quality images, maybe except for half frame 35 millimeter, because this is a very quirky camera. The lens is kind of quirky, so I wouldn't consider that as a general purpose camera. But even like if we take the 35 millimeter film, the most famous photographs in the history were taken with that medium. And they were printed and large, and they're super popular, and it doesn't matter if they have enough detail. It doesn't matter if it's a medium format or 35 millimeter, you can take great shots with any of that. And comparing to modern APS-C, even 24, 26 megapixels, they have much more detail than 35 millimeter film, from my experience. With scans that I've done, even with high resolution scans, in my opinion, there's much more details in the modern digital cameras, if you are looking for like a quality, if we're talking about not enough quality. And the medium format film certainly has enough detail and resolution. Of course, there are different applications. If I was sports photographer or wildlife photographer, I would have different cameras here. But for most of the cases, mechanically and technically, from quality perspective, I could use any of these cameras for pretty much most of the things that I do. And I think for most people, it's pretty clear why would you have many lenses. It's well understood that you cannot take the same image with 28 millimeter as with 90 or 100 millimeter. So I think for people it makes more sense if you have a variety of lenses. But cameras, if we're speaking of the capabilities, like here I have Canon 5D Mark II, very cheap today. It used to be a professional camera. It used to cost thousands of dollars, and it was used for global campaigns, for large brand photo shoots, high resolution prints. And by modern standards, it's a pretty low resolution full frame sensor, like 21 megapixels or something. But you can do a professional work with it, and people did. I would like to elaborate. I have some thoughts on why, and I have my train of thought that I want to just send your way. And I'm curious about your thoughts as well. Just share in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in what do you think about that. It's common to refer to cameras as tools. Like, I need a full frame with fast autofocus for this event, but for landscape photography, I need the high resolution medium format. But I don't think it's really fair to compare or to refer to cameras as tools. Tools like screwdrivers or hammers or variable wrenches, they all kind of do different jobs. They do different work. What you can do with a variable wrench, you cannot do with a hammer or screwdriver. And how many of each do I need? Well, I don't do much, just maybe something around the house. Somebody in a car service maybe needs way more tools than I do. But there are certain jobs that you're planning to do, and then you need to just get all of the tools necessary for that. Granted, there are more capable tools, and some of them allow you to do job faster than others. So there's some variety there. But then, as soon as you have a tool to do the job as quick as you want to, you don't need another one for that particular job. Why would you have multiple of them if they are capable of doing the same thing? And as long as I have a tool, I'm not thinking about replacing it. I never caught myself, or I never heard anybody telling me that, oh, this new hammer is coming out. How would it feel like to use that hammer? Maybe it inspires me for a next job around the house. I've never heard anybody thinking about tools in a way that they inspire them to do jobs. It's more like you're buying a tool for a job, and that comes first. And I don't know if there are people who collect tools, maybe. I'm pretty sure there are all sorts of quirky collections that people do. But if you think about cameras, they all do pretty much the same job, at least in my mind, and feel free to share in the comments if you disagree with me. But they capture light onto a medium, be it a digital sensor or film, and you get the representation of reality. That's pretty much it. And you just use 3 essential parameters: shutter speed, aperture, and sensitivity of the medium, or ISO. And that's all. All of these cameras pretty much do the same. Now, of course, there are some niche features that you might argue that are necessary for a job, like I was previously mentioning, sports events. So if I wanted to be able to photograph basketball games or football, then I probably should go and get the most recent, most capable camera, like Canon R5 Mark II or some Sony Alpha. I don't even know the names of the most recent ones, that have fastest autofocus, fastest frames per second, and then just use that. Certainly that most recent, most capable camera can do anything what I do. I don't do anything specifically niche. Slow-paced photography, street, still life, landscape, certainly any of these Canon, Nikon or Sony, the most advanced ones can do all of that. So why don't I just replace all of this with the one most capable camera, and I would do the job the fastest and the most efficient way? Is it just a gear acquisition syndrome? Here's a 6-string guitar, electric guitar. This is the Music Man. And it's a pretty standard guitar. It has 6 strings. It has pretty common number of frets, 24. Any piece of music could be played on that instrument if you have a skill. Pretty much anything that a guitarist would do in a band can be done with that guitar. It has enough features for soloing and rhythm and clean and distortion, whatever you want. Certainly, a single guitar like that should be sufficient for a musician to do the job if it was a tool, but musicians don't think that way. It's an instrument, and instruments are frequently given almost a human-like characteristics. They are sometimes attributed with a character or a personality. How many guitars do you think famous musicians had? Like David Gilmour, for example, from Pink Floyd, the famous lead guitarist. He sold his collection of guitars in 2019, and it was over 120 guitars, according to the rumors. Another famous guitarist, like Joe Satriani, allegedly has a collection of over 50 guitars. The lead guitarist of Dream Theater, the most famous progressive metal band, John Petrucci, takes 15 guitars on his tour, and maybe latest tour, maybe even more. So why that many? Maybe you need backup, sure, but it's not 15 guitars on a tour, and not 120 for sure. I've been playing guitar for more than 25 years, and I'm speaking from my personal experience. The more I play, the easier it is for me to feel the difference between the instruments. If I play two different guitars, I can feel how different they are, and they make me play a little bit differently. And I'm not talking necessarily about the same brand, same model. If you take a Music Man, a Fender, and a Gibson, they're pretty different guitars. Slightly different neck radius, slightly different height of frets, different pickups. All of this makes my experience of playing that guitar very, very different. And it can be completely impossible for a listener to hear. But if my feeling is different, my experience is different playing that guitar, I will be playing different things. Different guitars make me play in a different way. All of these details may be resonating or not resonating with me in a different way. I remember once in a music store, I tried a couple different Fenders. One was American Standard and one was a custom shop. The specification-wise, they're pretty similar. It's a similar neck and kind of similar pickups. It's not drastically different like acoustic guitar and electric guitar. They kind of have the same purpose, and you can play the same music with them because they have approximately similar sounds that you can produce. And the first one, I didn't really feel anything. It was whatever, just another guitar. I'd rather play my own guitar at home. And the custom shop Fender was just something clicked. It was just something special. I had so much joy playing it for some reason. And it was the same amp, same place. I played the same melodies, just trying different guitars. It was completely different experience. And I had so much fun and I enjoyed it. I couldn't stop playing. And until this day, I regret not buying this guitar. It was very inconvenient. I had to fly. So taking a guitar on a flight is a hassle. But until this day, I regret it, that I didn't get that guitar. It was some special connection. And then since then, I tried a lot of different Fenders, custom shops or American Standard, all sorts of them. I was trying to find that same model and I cannot find it. I play, it looks like the same, I play it, but it doesn't have the same feeling. It doesn't connect with me in the same way. And maybe I changed. It's also possible. It's not just about the guitar, it's about the relationship of a musician with the guitar. The guitar makes an input in this relationship as well by being different and providing different experience and inspiring me to play differently. And when I'm having so much fun and joy, I will be playing much better than if I'm not enjoying myself. Like the music that I produce will sound much more pleasant if I have fun and I enjoy the process compared to if I don't. So here, where it is similar to me with cameras, that these different cameras make me feel differently, they provide me a different experience, and they inspire me to do different things in a different way. What I'm searching for with getting different cameras is the connection, that feeling of joy and great experience while doing the photography. And that's why I prefer to think about cameras as instruments, like musical instruments. And it's just not about guitar, of course. Musicians that played other instruments, pianos, saxophones, violins, they all have a different connection with the instruments, and it is important for them. And that can be completely impossible to hear for a listener. Like, can you recognize which guitar Eric Clapton is playing on every record? Can you even hear the difference that he may be playing different guitars? And frequently on records, guitarists play many different guitars. And I'm not able to hear that difference. But for him, it's important. The difference is important for the musician more than for the listener. I could play pretty much anything that I play on any guitar. And a professional musician like Mark Knopfler or Eric Clapton, they can sound like themselves and play their music on any guitar. But they're just looking for the experience as well. And so for me, it is important how camera makes me feel. Does it resonate with me? And these things can be really intangibles. It's how it feels in a hand, or how the shutter release button feels. I have Fuji X-S20, which is my video camera. Really great for video. I tried using it for photography. I took it on a trip. I just don't enjoy using it. I don't feel connected to it. The shutter sound is not pleasant to me. It's very high-pitched. The controls are more like a modern controls. I don't enjoy using the controls. And while it's a perfectly capable camera with all of the capabilities that I need, and I have pretty good pictures that I made with it on a trip, but I don't really feel like grabbing it and using it. I'm looking for a connection with the camera. But in terms of capabilities, the images taken with a 50 megapixel from GFX and with Leica M11 with a 60 megapixel, the final result will be indistinguishable. The viewer online or in a printed form will not be able to tell the difference that this is definitely GFX and this is definitely Leica M11. There are tons of blind tests on YouTube and online where people compare the most modern iPhone to Leica M11, and nobody can see a difference. Even I couldn't see a difference in a video online on a big TV. It's not so obvious. Maybe if you pixel peep and you zoom in and on a monitor like 400%, maybe you can see it, but nobody looks at the images like that. So final results will be pretty much impossible to distinguish. Even film, the modern simulations of the film make it almost impossible to even distinguish is it digital, is it film. But my experience shooting with iPhone or shooting with Leica M11 is drastically different. It's nothing in common, literally. I never feel like grabbing iPhone and just taking pictures, maybe selfies with my wife, but it's not the same as I wanna, take this Hasselblad and shoot something. And then the experience of using a certain camera is completely different. I'm looking for this inspiration, for this connection with a tool, and I'm looking for a pleasant experience. And if I'm having fun, I'll be using it more, and I'll be more inspired to do things. I'll be doing a better photography. Of course, the camera cannot make me a better photographer. Sure, I'm not talking about that. But it's a feedback loop. It's a cycle. I'm inspired to photograph because I'm having a good experience, and then I'm thinking about photography more. And so there's some connection in my mind with the cameras that I use. So they are more instruments to me. Of course, I could just pick one and I could technically use it for pretty much anything I do. But it's a different experience and different connection that I'm looking for. Enough of me blabbing. I was just looking for an explanation, an excuse to have all of these cameras and maybe buy a couple more guitars. I hope my wife watches that video and understands that I don't have a problem. I'm actually using all of these cameras. I know that some people collect cameras. Funny story, when I was buying Leica M11, the salesman in the store asked me if I'm going to open the box, which just befuddled me. I couldn't understand. What do you mean? Why wouldn't I open the box? What I do with it? And he said that some people just buy them for collection and just keep the box sealed to keep it in mint condition. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't wait to try it. So I really do use all of these cameras. Granted, maybe now this arsenal, not a collection, arsenal, is a little bit larger than it should be. I might get rid of a couple of the cameras that just have a little bit more similar experience, that I don't need duplicates of that. And the fact that people collect them just makes them more similar to instruments, because people collect musical instruments, especially if somebody famous played them. And I've never heard of somebody collecting tools. And if somebody famous used the tool, I've never heard of that. If you collect tools, please leave a comment. I'm curious to know. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere dude online that's just screaming at the screen that I collect screwdrivers and you just don't understand. Please share Share it if you do. I'm curious. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a comment if you agree with my perspective. What of the two analogies work for you? Tool, is it a tool for you? Is it an instrument for you? Can you do with just one camera, the most capable camera? If you could just buy one camera and forgetting about the price, would you be able just to live with one? Maybe two as a backup if you're a professional photographer? Thank you for watching. I appreciate you sticking around, and I'm looking forward to see you next time.